Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So in case you missed the original video of the new E-Flite ME-262 that I did, it was kind of windy and we were at the park and it wasn't spectacular, but we're out here at the flying field now, so we got nice wide open spaces and it's nice and calm. So I thought I'd show you guys a couple of things first before we start. A number of you guys online had issues with your pilot being loose. Mine was also loose. Not a huge deal. I just popped the canopy off of the frame, and I took that opportunity to kind of paint it up a little bit in here. Oh, focus, little fella. Maybe focus over here. There we go. So I painted the floor black and I touched up the pilot a little bit, and then I just kind of added some sort of gauges with a silver Sharpie. But you can see I'm running the 850 pack all the way back as far as I can get it, basically. You can turn the battery around and get a little farther back, but then it's hard to get this connected without being in the way of the hatch. So anyways, flying the model with no gear, obviously. And if you missed the original post, I did do some airbrushing just to kind of dirty it up. The colors were a little too bright for my liking. You see I also painted in the exhaust and everything else. So it's a really cool looking airplane and it flies just as well as it looks. So we have a timer set for 4 minutes, but this thing will fly longer than that, especially if you're just cruising around. But it's nice and calm, so we're going to give you guys a calm day demonstration. I'm not the best at throwing especially jets, especially really small ones. I have kind of like big dorky hands, but you can use safe to launch it. So right now safe is on, and I just launched it a minute ago. And the way I found that worked pretty well was I just put my finger in that vent hole back there and kind of support it like that, full throttle, and then you just give her a toss. And when it's on safe, it'll actually give it a little bit of up trim and it'll help keep it level when you throw it. So just in case I'm throwing it out over the grass here. See, that was kind of a crappy throw, but the safe recovered it really quick. So one of the cool things about the 262 is how nice it'll cruise at like low power settings. That's like 1/3 throttle right there, and the airplane's totally happy at that speed, just cruising around. Try and make it easy for the camera guy. See, this morning sun's just peeking up. Look how nice and smooth this thing flies. Really cool model. I've always liked the ME-262, and I hope they do a bigger one with retracts and flaps, because this thing is pretty sick. They always fly nice because they got the pod install and the fan, and then they got that long
Time remaining 3 minutes.
thin wing. Okay, so here comes full power. Nice big loop. Slow roll. See if we can do a 4-point here.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
This is a really nice flying airplane. Actually, it'll get pretty long flights with an 850 if you're just cruising around. So let's walk out to the runway here. We're going to do some low-level flybys. Nice thing about we have out here is that this is a petrol mat runway, so it's not asphalt. So if it does actually touch the ground, it's not going to kill it. And being that the pods have plastic on the bellies of them, you can actually land it on this material. So if I accidentally get too low and it touches, it's not a huge deal. Unlike the F-14 or the SR-71. You can see how stable the airplane is. I mean, it is pretty calm right now, but even in windy conditions, this thing is really smooth for its size.
Time remaining 1 minute.
And this also has telemetry on it, so you get battery warnings and stuff when your batteries get low, which is super cool. Let's try another loop here.
ESC 10.7 volts.
Speak of the devil.
ESC 10.6 volts.
And it sounds nice too. A lot of the early UMX EDFs kind of sound
30 seconds.
like garbage, but this thing's really quiet and smooth sounding, which is nice.
20 seconds.
Inverted flight, super nice. A very stable airplane.
10.
That's a 4-minute timer. If you're cruising around like this, you can pretty much fly for about 6 minutes.
Timer expired.
Alright, so I'm going to come in over here and land it in the grass. So the original landing we did was really cool. It skidded for about 30 feet on this grass. It was pretty cool. So we're going to come a little bit more over here. Have that fence in the way. I think we don't have any other club members here today yelling at us for flying behind the deadline. Alright, let's see what we got here. I think it's pretty cool. So, yeah, it was, almost a 5-minute flight, and let's see what the telemetry says here. It says I got 30% left in the battery, so we're at 11.4 volts. And it's crazy that a model this size, you can get live telemetry, battery voltage, ESC amperage, battery life in a package this big. Just crazy. Anyways, super neat model. If you're on the fence about getting one, I highly suggest it. It's really neat. I know some guys, like I said, were having issues with the pilots being loose or whatever. If that's a huge deal to you, maybe you're in the wrong hobby. Like, I get it, it shouldn't be falling out of there, but you know, it's a new model. They obviously will probably use more glue on the next batch of airplanes. It's all part of the learning experience with a new airplane, but I feel like they have the airplanes pretty well dialed in as it is. The radio's set up really well. It's just a cool airplane. So anyways, hope you guys like the little flight on the ME-262, and we'll see you in the next one.